Superman issue 11 finds Graft telling the weakened Superman that every move he and his brother have made over the last year has been building to this moment, beginning with testing the hero's limits and resolve, altering the powers of his most dangerous foes, and even the cost of his battle at the Chained were all part of his game. Angered, the Chained attacks Superman, vowing to kill him, but Graft calms him, reminding the villain that they need Superman to join him since killing Lex will be easy, so they want to destroy everything he cares about first. As Superman is overcome by the kryptonite gas, Graft tells him the best way to strike at Lex could be through his company or maybe his legacy, like his daughter. A few hours earlier in Supercorp Tower, Lena talks with LL01, the AI of her father, who says that it knows everything about Lex's personal files. She asks for the files on Lena Luthor, and the AI gives her a detailed rundown on Lena and how Lex gave her to Brainiac 13 in exchange for advanced technology from the future, and following the Imperiex War, she was rescued by Superman and returned to Lex, who sent her to live on a private island with her grandmother. Lena had hoped that her father would have a bit more to say in his own personal files as Letitia turns up, telling her the reality is that she scares Lex because Lena is so much more smarter than him. Letitia blames herself for her son seeing her as a threat, but Lena already knows how much she hates her son since she hates him too. Letitia wonders why she is choosing to work at Supercorp then, but Lena reminds her that the company is now owned by Superman. The conversation is interrupted by Mercy, who wants all hands on deck to find the now missing Man of Steel. Letitia isn't too concerned with the missing hero as Lena rushes off to see Mercy, who is going over the footage of the super armor Superman was wearing. They watch as Graft hits Marilyn Moonlight with a blast from his kryptonite claw, which causes both Moonlight and Superman to disappear in a bright light. The voice of Lex tells Mercy to patch him into the suit's diagnostics as he has an idea of what happened. While her father works on his plan, Lena looks up Supercorp's files on the types of kryptonite, wondering how the villains got their hands on some of the more impossible to find colors. Lois storms into the room, angry that Mercy has lost Superman. Mercy assures Lois that Lex has a theory, and Lex tells the women that Moonlight's powers operate on a spectral level, and he's run some initial tests through the supernatural division of Supercorp. Lena cuts him off though since it's a waste of time, knowing that Graft and Farm are using kryptonite to create different reactions in their victims, just like they did with Moonlight. Alarms begin to blare throughout the tower, and Mercy tells them wherever Superman is, he's going to have to stay there, since they need to deal with this problem first. In the lower levels of the tower, Farm and Graft blast their way into the building. Lena notes that they are heading for the Chain's cell, as Lois asks why Superman needs to stay where he is. Mercy activates her arm cannon, telling Lois that the last time he fought these villains, he got kryptonite poisoning, and they can't afford to let him be that close to death again. The room explodes as a being in a Luthor warsuit storms in, telling Graft that Mercy is down and the others are contained. The being traps Lois and Lena, who demands to know why her father is doing this. Lex, over his communicator, tells his daughter that he isn't in the suit as it opens, revealing Letitia Luthor is inside of it. She tells her granddaughter that she is the one who started this company and Lex just stole it out from under her, and now she is going to do what should have been done a long time ago. Letitia blasts the computer systems as Lena manages to escape, hoping someone can help her. As she runs through the atrium of the building, she finds Superman is back, rushing to the hero and telling him to quickly leave. It's too late though, as he is overcome by kryptonite gas, confronted by the Lex Luthor Revenge Squad. In the present, Graft asks Superman to join them and destroy Lex once and for all, but Superman of course refuses. However, this is something Graft expected, wanting to tell Superman a secret. The villain shows off his kryptonite claw, revealing the kryptonite is all synthetic, and they ran tests on Bizarro to test the synthetic kryptonite and its effects on Kryptonian physiology, cracking the code on how to get it to work. The villain brandishes the red kryptonite, knowing each color has a special quality, like the red one, which does something different to Superman each time he's interacted with it, but thanks to his research, he knows it once made Superman angry. The villain activates the red kryptonite and infects Superman with an anger unheard of, causing him to speed out of the building and return in an instant with Lex, telling the villain it's time he pays for what he has done to him and the world. Lena tries to tell the kryptonite-infected hero that this isn't him, but Letitia grabs her, telling the girl that her father has had this coming for a very long time. Graft tells her to let Lena go since they have other engagements to deal with, as Letitia suits back up and leaves to execute the next step of their plans, leaving Lena to futilize repeatedly try and stop Superman. Superman demands to know how she can defend him after everything he has done to her, but Lex tells Graft that in their attempt to stop him, they made a critical error. No one wants an angry Superman. Graft playfully asks if that scares Lex, but Lex thinks that Superman isn't just angry with him, but with Graft, Farm, and the rest of the Revenge Squad. Superman blasts Graft Kryptonite Claw with heat vision, shattering it into a million pieces before quickly dealing with the rest of the squad, taking down the Chained before Sammy can even think about it. Superman returns to deal with Luthor, wanting him to pay for what he stole from him. Lex lets Superman get close so he can stab him with a shard of the green kryptonite from Graft's claw. Lena begins to panic, demanding to know what her father just did, but Lex defends his actions, knowing the green kryptonite negates the effects of the red kryptonite. Lena removes the shard, finding Superman is dying. Graft tells Lex that it was never just about killing him, since Lex only cares about himself and his legacy, so they unleashed something that will ruin Lex forever. Outside the tower, Lena spreads kryptonite gas around Metropolis, confusing Lena since kryptonite doesn't really hurt humans. Graft knows that the radiation does over time, and Lex once learned that the hard way, and it's why they made a new kind of kryptonite that affects humans in the same amount of time it does Superman. Superman doesn't believe that they would design kryptonite that can kill anyone, as Graft reveals that they aren't the architects of this plot. Lex tells Superman that this was his plan, and long ago, he, alongside Graft and Farm, created this version of kryptonite, and now Metropolis will pay for his genius.